Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my art lab. I have a Patreon group called Nate's Art Lab on patreon.com, and I have an amazing group of artists that we all collaborate once a month. And this month I set a challenge to use some This Little Piggy pigments. This is from Fluid Art Co. And I have 3 little piggy pigments that I'm working with tonight. I have taffy and asparagus and mango, and then I'm using 3 tube paints also. This is primary yellow, this is sap green, and this is greenish blue, all from Amsterdam. And because we're using This Little Piggy pigment, sometimes I invite special guests to join us. So I went straight to the source and the queen herself, and Shelley Carruthers from Shelley Art will be joining our premiere train today. I'm very excited. She is the mastermind behind the bloom technique, and also she's the person who came up, who develops all of the beautiful pigment colors. So I'm really excited to have her as part of the train here today. And so thank you, Shelley, for participating with us. So I already have 2 of my piggies mixed up, the asparagus and the taffy. So I thought I would demonstrate how I mix the piggies, because I know when I was just at the Fluid Art experience in in Asheville, that several people said that they were really intimidated by the dry pigments. And so I demonstrated how I mix my pigments probably 6 or 7 times, because it really is very easy, especially if you have ever baked anything like a cake or cupcakes or brownies or anything like that, because it is really very similar. So we're going to start with our mango here. I'm going to tap that because I don't want that to puff up on me. I'm holding this very far away from my face. I do highly recommend that you use a mask when you're mixing pigments, dry pigments, because they are ground very fine. And I'm just going to take a nice healthy scoop of this here. They are ground very fine, so I find that that dry pigment can puff up, and you definitely do not want to inhale that and get it in your lungs. A lot of that would over time would really affect your breathing and your health, so please wear a mask. I'm not, because I want you to be able to hear me, and I'm keeping this very far away from my face and keeping it very and being very careful. So this is the amount of pigments that I'm putting in the bottom of this cup. This is a 7-ounce paper cup. I prefer these paper cups because they have a completely smooth side, so none of this pigment, none of the binders, nothing's going to get stuck in those little grooves that you find in plastic cups. Do I have one handy? Yeah, see these little grooves right here? All of that dry pigment gets stuck in there. So we have our dry pigment, and if I'm thinking of this like baking, so this is my flour and all of my dry ingredients. So now we need to wet that down, and a wetting agent can be something like Jo Sonja Gloss Varnish. Jo Sonja also makes a flow medium that works really well. I have in the past also used GAC 800, but I'll talk about that more in a minute. And I know Mina Villegas uses isopropyl alcohol. Anything that you want to use that is a very thin consistency and will wet these paints down and is water soluble. So I'm going to just drizzle in a little bit of this Jo Sonja Gloss Varnish, like so. So again, not a whole lot, maybe a 1/4 of an ounce. And then I'm slowly going to mix the dry pigments in with the wetting agent. I'm going slow at first because I don't want it to puff up and breathe it in, put a lot of particles in the air. But once I get all of the dry parts wet, then I really give it a really good stir, because I don't want any lumps, just like in baking. Give it a really good mix. I like these little stir sticks from Fluid Art Co. are amazing, because the tip is just slightly flexible, so it really scrapes this cup really well, and I can get down right into the corner where the sides meet the bottom, where the pigment likes to hang on and bunch up, and I can really get all of that pigment dispersed. So now this is a slurry. It is ready to be mixed with a binding agent. So basically what we've done here is added, if we're thinking again in the terms of baking, we've taken our flour and we've added milk. So now it's nice and runny, but you can't bake a cake with just milk and flour. You need something to hold everything together. Normally you would use an egg. I'm going to use a binder, so a couple of options for you. GAC 800 is amazing. It's one of the best binders on the market. And if I wanted these to remain a thin consistency, then I would go ahead and add this GAC 800 to it. And then I could also add some Floetrol to make it more elastic. But the GAC 800, you need a binder. So GAC 800 is one of the options. Anything that says medium on it, this is a Liquitex medium, pouring medium. This is a really good binder also. You could, if you want to use or keep your paints thick, you could add in some gel medium. This is from TriArt that I also got from Fluid Art Co. But I have my own mix of 2 parts US Floetrol to 1 part PVA glue, and the glue is the binder. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump this in. This is about 3 ounces of my pouring medium. The color is going to change a little bit here because my glue, even though it dries clear, is very white, kind of an opaque white. So this is going to tone it down for now, but it will dry at its regular pigment intensity. So I'm going to give that a really good stir. And really incorporate all of that pigment. I'm going to scrape my cup one more time. And that is ready to go. And you can see that because I've used that really thick glue along with my Floetrol, it is leaving a mound on a mound, which is the same consistency as all of these other paints. So if I were baking, I'd be ready to stick this in the oven, but what I've actually done is make a paint from the base materials. So this paint is ready to use. So I also have, for my pillow paint today, I'm using my regular pouring medium, 2 parts Floetrol with 1 part PVA glue, and that's 3 parts of that and 1 part of Chrome Acrylic Essentials in white. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice pillow down here, and I'm going to tilt this out a little bit. I'm painting on a 14-inch round that is made of bamboo, pressed bamboo. So I have gessoed this to seal all the pores in the wood. There are a lot of air bubbles in this. This paint is even thicker than my regular paints that are sitting over here to the side. So I'm gonna torch that real quick. See if I can pop some of those larger bubbles. More of those will come up here in a moment. I'm going to follow Shelley's example. She recently brought back the comb over swipe, and I'm going to play around with that. I've seen a couple of other people recently doing it too, and it looks like a lot of fun. And I've been doing these herringbone pattern wrecks, and I'm really enjoying drawing lines through the paint, so I'm going to continue doing that. So I'm going to move all this out of the way. I'm going to drizzle these paints in a kind of chaotic fashion, just kind of drizzle them around, and then I'm going to swipe through the center using this spatula and some cell activator, 3 parts Australian Floetrol to 1 part Amsterdam lamp black. and I'm going to swipe right through the center of it, and then I'm going to use my comb to play with the patterns and see what I can create. So I'm ready to go. I'm going to start with my darker colors. I think I'm going to start with this sap green. Make sure that's nice and mixed up and ready to go. And put that right there. One of the other reasons I like paper cups is because I can pinch the tip and I can get a lot of control over how much paint is coming out of my cup. Again, I don't have a pattern in mind here. I'm just kind of layering some colors on here. That is probably enough green, dark green. And let's go ahead and put the asparagus. This is this little piggy asparagus. If you want to order this little piggy pigments, you can get them from fluid-art.co, and they have locations in the US and Australia and Europe, and also I believe they ship to Canada. Oh gosh, that's a beautiful color. Okay, that is enough of the greens. Now let's do our blues. So I have Amsterdam greenish blue. I'll start with that. And you'll notice that as I'm layering this, I'm putting in a tube paint first with a Piggy on top. One of the things I learned from assisting Jessica Winterstrom at some of these events like Fluid Art Experience is that the pigments work best when combined with a tube paint. So I have an equal amount of both in my palette here. Ooh, that's pretty already. All right, so I have my cool colors on, or my warm colors, no, I'm sorry, my cool colors on the bottom. And now I'm gonna add my two really bright warm colors. First I'm gonna torch again. And I think I want to end with the mango. So I'm gonna go with the yellow first. And pinch the tip. And drizzle it around. I'm gonna be kind of cautious with this. I don't want it to create more green. That's probably enough. And then we'll go with the mango on top. Mango is one of my favorite fruits, so this is perfect. If you've never had a mango martini, oh my gosh, you need to come stay with me. I'll make you a dozen of them. I'm gonna use a lot of this. This is a beautiful color. Okay. I wish it was just a little bit darker, but that's good. All right, so this is gonna be a lot of fun. I've got plenty of paint on here. So when I spin this out, it'll give me some really good definition. Let's see here. Now I'm just gonna add some cell activator to my palette knife. I've never actually used this palette knife before. And I don't know why, but it's a little dented on one end. I'll make sure that that part stays up. You don't need a lot of cell activator, so once I've covered it, I like to drip it off. Let's see if that, get any excess off. Australian Floetrol is a bit expensive, so I don't want to waste any of it. That's probably good. And I'm going to go in a straight line, so I'm just going to start right here and swipe up towards you. I find it's much easier to swipe in a straight line going either away from yourself or towards yourself rather than side to side. Just barely touching the surface, leaving the front edge up and not touching the paint. And just floating it across. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, let me rinse my tool off. Okay, as I expected, there's a lot of green in there, but hopefully that blue and orange and yellow show up when we start spinning this out. But first let's play with our comb. I'll let that develop just a little bit longer in here. We're probably going to lose most of this on the sides, like from here and here. We're mainly going to keep all of this. So I'm not too worried about all of this black over there. I think it will continue to develop a little bit. But I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to do a wavy little line, and I'm going to go very slowly. Ooh, am I wrecking all of my cells? There they are. Well, that's fun. Let's do something different on this second side, though. I think, what do I want? I think I want to start in the middle. And come out. And do the same on this side. Let's play with the palette knife here. I love this motion that's coming down right here. So let's come here and not disturb it too much. Just give that a little bit of fun. And I think I want to wreck, let's see here. What happens if I do this? Ooh, nice. Really nice, actually. And let's come this way. We'll go back the other direction. I like that a lot. I'm not going to worry about any of this because I'm going to lose most of that. But I want to do that. So I came this way this time, so let's come back this direction. Okay, that was fun. Okay, I love that. That's beautiful. I love the little swirly in there. Do I need another one of those? I think I want to swirl right there too. Let's come right here. A little bit of unexpected motion is always nice. Okay, let's move this around a little bit. Let's move all my paints off to the side. Let's give it a spin, see what happens.
La luz del sol y las estrellas mí, que te ilumine a ti, te dé toda mi energía. No te hagas ilusión, no quiero ser tu salvación, tampoco soy tu religión. Hacete cargo de tu vida. Mi amor no significa posesión, no significa solución de tu problema. Resuelve tus dilemas. Yo prefiero vivir sabiendo que hay amor profundo y sincero. Yo quiero sentir lo que es compartir la felicidad en lo malo y en lo bueno. No te hagas ilusión, no quiero ser tu salvación, tampoco soy tu religión. Hacerte cargo de tu vida. Mi amor no significa posesión, no significa solución de tu problema. Anda, resuelve tu dilema. Tampoco soy tu religión. Hacete cargo de tu vida. Mi amor no significa posesión, no significa solución de tus problemas. Anda, resuelve tu dilema. No te hagas ilusión, no quiero ser tu salvación, tampoco soy tu religión. Hacete cargo de tu vida. Tu vida es tu
Okay, so here's my dry or wet result. I'm really happy. It's very busy, but look at how those cells got stretched around that comb. Really beautiful. I love these cells that I wrecked in here. This over here looks like stained glass. It's beautiful. But even in this area over here where it was just the, the chaos colors that I drizzled around, that part's beautiful too. I love that. Those wreck lines there. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I like it. And those TLPs are really going to bling when they dry. So let's see how it dries. And here we have the dry results. I brought it outside into the sunlight, and so you can see the glimmer of this little piggy pigments, and of course the clouds rolled in just as I did that. But I'm really happy with this. Do you see, if this is a horizon line, I see like northern pine trees, windswept pines, and maybe the aurora borealis in the background, and then the reflection in the water below. I think this is really pretty. Orange and green are a difficult color combo for me. I've seen lots of other people use them and do it beautifully, but I usually struggle with that color combo. But in this particular case, I'm really happy with it. I love that mango. I love that lakeside showing up over here. The blues and the greens with the yellow and the orange. I think it worked out beautifully. And I put it on top of this little side table out from my garden, and I thought, oh, you know what, this makes a great little side table. I should resin this and put some wooden legs on it or something, turn it into a side table. I hope you stick around for the rest of the Art Lab collab, all the other premieres that are happening. There is a playlist in the video description. Up next is Shelly Carruthers from Shelly Art, who is our guest artist this month, the mastermind behind Fluid Art Co. and This Little Piggy Pigments, and the Bloom Technique. She's fabulous, so I hope you check out her video also. And then immediately following her will be the rest of my Patreons who have YouTube channels. Those who don't have YouTube channels, I've attached videos of their pieces for this collab at the end of this video, so stick around probably for another minute to watch those happen. And then, yeah, follow the playlist for the other videos. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to do the UB2B things and subscribe and comment and like and all of that kind of stuff. And go mix up some paints and be fearless.